Today on It's All Dug in Games, the latest details on the upcoming Atari 2600 Plus, and I read your comments. So strap in, kids. I think today's going to be a wild ride. Hey folks, it's Doug from It's All Dug in Games. Boy, I will tell you, people have been buzzing over this Atari 2600 Plus. At the time we're posting this video, it's only a few weeks. It'll be sort of like Christmas in mid-November. So the excitement is so thick you can cut it with a spork. And so I'm going to take a look now at some of the most recent developments of what's been going on here. I've checked out the Atari Age forums. I know. Atari bought them. It's evil and horrible. I get it. Step away from the keyboard. I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities to roast me in the comments in a few moments. Let's not release our venom early. Pre-release of venom, never a healthy thing. So anyhow, there is a lot of good information out there. Devs from the Atari 2600 Plus team confirming and denying rumors and innuendo and all that good stuff. I think a couple of the most important things that I've seen relative to the latest developments are, number one, the controller compatibility, which I think is pretty cool. So apparently, you can take your old school original Atari controllers, your joysticks, your paddles, so on and so forth, and use them with the Atari 2600 Plus. I know that they've been taking the system out on the road to some of the recent conventions, like the Portland Retro Gaming Expo that just wrapped up not too long ago. People were bringing their cartridges and their systems and doing some testing on it. Now, I will say, that guy in a trench coat that brought all the porn games, not the best judgment, but hey, we've got a better compatibility list. So, I mean, at the end of the day, that's all that matters here. And I think that this is kind of cool in a few ways. I don't think Atari had to do that, but I will say it's admittedly a decent gesture because they will sell you a new Atari CX40 joystick for like, what, let's see, $25, I want to say? Yeah, $24.99. But at the end of the day, you know what? If you really want that great tactile experience, support your local retro game shop. Walk in there and buy one for $6. Every retro game shop in America has a pile of Atari joysticks. They're easy to use. They're almost always in good order. So there you go. If you really want the tactile experience, hey, go on Craigslist and meet someone in a dark alley that's got a picture of an Atari 2600 controller, a copy of Dirty Dancing on VHS. Bundle them up together for $10. Show up and hope you don't get stabbed. That is the true tactile experience. Don't necessarily give Atari $25 for a stick. Go old school all the way. Well, anyway, controllers, yes, they're supposedly compatible, but I have reason to believe that is correct, again, based on what we've seen coming out of the videos from the recent conventions and so on and so forth. Compatibility. So, I will tell you, I've seen all the reports. More and more games are being tested. There's still only a few that are known to fail, so that's cool. I suspect if you are a true 2600 fan and you're in the audience of people that this is targeted for, remember in the last video I said this is not for the people who are into all the homebrews or all that stuff. You've already got 20 different ways to play Atari in high def. This is for people who are going to get the nostalgia feels, who had one back in the day, who aren't technically savvy with all the modern ways of emulation and things like that. They don't know what a homebrew is. They just want to play combat and adventure and Pac-Man. So that's the audience, and for those folks, I think they're going to have a good experience on the 2600 side. Not sure how it's going to really be for day one if you're a big 7800 fan. I mean, at the end of the day, there's some compatibility issues that have been reported with the emulator that they chose, all that stuff. I suspect they probably have motivation to improve it as things go on, so I don't know if I'd recommend this as a day one purchase. If you're big into the 7800, you're going to have to buy an updated controller anyway, because the 7800 has two fire buttons, where the 2600 only has one. Of course, you could go find one. You could find one at a yard sale. Maybe go to, knock on doors and ask them if they got any video games, specifically 7800 controllers. Again, go old school. But you won't get out of the box a 7800 controller. So there's that, and the compatibility is not necessarily there. But the other thing that I've discovered, getting the latest information for you, my dear viewers, is that yes, it was confirmed there's going to be a cable in the box with the 2600 Plus that lets you update the firmware via the USB port. So that is on the table, whether it's official from Atari, which I suspect they will have motivation to do that, or if people on their own figure out how to, I guess, jailbreak and put better emulators in there, that's going to be on the table as well. You know, of course, because the fact there's a USB cable, someone's going to feel the need to install Linux on it. Someone's going to feel the need to put Doom on it. Someone's going to feel the need to, you get the drill. So, I mean, it's cool. I look forward to the first person that puts an N64 emulator on the 2600 Plus. They're going to get lots of hits and cool points and all that good stuff. So have at it, kids. I think that's going to be something that I can't wait to see, the creative genius that the hacking community will have for the 2600. What I think is truly creative genius, and I love, is the humble little but growing audience of It's All Doug in Games. You guys in the comments have been on point, and I don't care if you're boom roasting me. I can take it. I'm a big boy. It's all good, just like It's All Doug in Games. Let's take a peek ski at some of the chef's kiss comments from the latest video, and I'll be happy to throw in my 2 cents, maybe 3.5 if I feel like it. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Was it really necessary to make that comment about people in basements? Those comments help nobody. They're old, they're overused, and they don't really need to be said. Also, does it really matter that Atari listed those adult games? There probably are people who want to try them out of curiosity's sake. When did you insert that beep sound instead of just saying adult-themed games? Well, first of all, no beeps here. We're just taking the gloves off. Second of all, hey, please don't take offense or be triggered by the basement comment. Here's the reality. I film these in a basement. My studio is in a basement. We're one. We're together, my friend. We're all basement dwellers. As a matter of fact, at least twice now, while I've been recording this video, I've asked my producer, Cassandra Hammerstone, to go upstairs and make me a Hot Pocket. It's all good. And as far as the adult games go, I get it. A lot of people boom roasted me about that. A lot of people thought I was super sensitive. I was just embellishing a little. It's okay. I'm glad we got that all straightened out. A positive comment here. Slickest open-minded pre-review out there. I personally feel this console has a much wider field in mind than fogies like me. The new upgraded guts in this thing can play higher level games more powerfully with voice and much better picture. Also the sound. This has the ability to actually use that untapped potential. It's literally do it or get off the pot for them. All eyes on them. Counts on success. Failure is definitely not an option. Yes, mission accomplished banner in the background. You're absolutely right. Thank you for the positive comments. You were one of the few that were kind, and I do appreciate that. And I do agree. Look, I'm an old 50-year-old guy. I'm self-aware. I am that old fogey, and I realize this is for people who wanted to get that nostalgia kick but aren't necessarily techies and have 6 ways to Sunday to play these games. So yep, I'm in agreement with you, and thank you again for that. Let's see, what else do we have here? I think some people who are complaining about this system are more than likely hardcore Nintendo fanboys. Well, isn't that always the case? Anytime a system that's not Nintendo gets a little heat, it's from those gosh darn Nintendo fanboys. One of these days, man, I'm going to find those Nintendo fanboys, and I'm going to write them a sternly worded letter. Clearly, you've got your finger on the pulse of the retro gaming scene. I salute you. Let's look at the next one. Jess checked Amazon. They're trying to sell old Atari games at their original prices. Seriously, who's going to pay, €25 for Berserk? It ships with only 10 games, which is crazy. Wait a minute, hold on. You're telling me that there's somebody out there trying to sell loose Atari carts on Amazon. Hold on. Type it in on my keyboard. Let's see. I'm on Amazon. Atari 2600 Berserk. Let's see what we got here. There's a listing for that. Wait a minute. Okay, so somebody's selling a loose Atari 2600 Berserk cart. Doesn't look like it's exactly collector quality. No one's grading that puppy for $15, presumably a little bit plus shipping unless you get Prime. Well, I guess what that tells us is Phoenix Resale came into a large tub of Atari cartridges recently. Can you just imagine that in the video? Like he's there in the garage of some poor little old lady. She's got like rosary beads and glassware and baskets, and there's like a lone tub of Atari cartridges there. And he's just got the phone out, and he's like, I can get $7.62 on Amazon after fees for this Berserk. And the little lady's like, Berserk? What's a Berserk? He just grabs the basket and runs down the driveway. The cartridges are all over the place, shoves them in his SUV, and rides off into the sunset. So there you go. By the way, I love you, Caleb. I'm just teasing you. Next up, I pre-ordered and picked up a good selection of games at a con. Also ordered some from eBay. Very excited for this. Simple, clean, looks to bring back some much-needed family fun. So there you go, Sean Carter. That is exactly what I was thinking, is that I suspect that there will be some renewed interest in reacquiring some of those loose carts that people had in their attic, their basement, whatever, from years gone by. The classics, the Asteroids, Space Invaders, Combat, Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, Pitfall, Kaboom, yada, yada, yada. We were just at a con. I believe it was the Retro Game Con up in Syracuse a few weeks ago. And I know my producer will put up a picture of this. There was a big tub of Atari carts. They were blowing them out for $1 a piece. So here's the thing. If you can wait until the start of next year's convention season, you're going to have opportunities, if you have one of these, to pick up those loose carts. And I think that's what's going to be cool. It'll invigorate that cartridge collecting hobby a little bit. It's not going to be crazy or anything, but for the folks that do find this and buy it, they're going to have a lot of fun. Like I said, I tease and joke about buying stuff in a back alley, but that tactile experience of, going out and finding the controllers and the games, it's fun. I think people enjoy it. You got the right idea, so I like it. Let's see here. So comparing a production by one company to a product by a completely different company makes total sense. I think you're probably talking about the Retron 77 comparison. And yes, I do think it makes total sense. So thank you for your seal of approval. XXNOXX-XP5BL. Totally not a bot. That's clearly on your birth certificate. Can I just call you Knox for short? Cool. Thank you. Thank you for your engagement. I do appreciate it. I'll probably make about a penny off that. So it's all good. Will it work? Wrote 46-year-old console. And then I replied, because I did reply on some of these comments, technically it's over 50 and eligible for an AARP membership. See that little clown honk honk? I mean, I make jokes. It's what I do. But then we're having a fun little tea party. A comment, I make a fun little playful comment, and then Wolfshane's 5980 rolls in. If that's your real name, Wolfshane's 5980. It's all Duggan games. Technically, the Atari 2600 went on sale in 1977, so it's 46, and it has to wait 4 more years for AARP membership. See, nobody considers development time as its origin date. It's when it goes on sale that the clock starts. Nobody considers the day your mom got pregnant as someone's birthday. Let's stick to accepted norms. It's 46-year-old, not 50. Wow. So much to unpack here. I did not see the your mom got pregnant date analogy coming. You hit me like the curveball right there. So well played, Wolfshanes, on that. But more importantly, do you realize you've just broken the retro gaming story of the year? Atari has released a crap ton of Atari 50th anniversary merch, from arcade one-up-like machines to little consoles to, I don't know, probably greeting cards, underpants, you name it. We're going to have to go and change all those. Someone's going to go and print stickers that say 46 on them and go and change all of these items. This is absolutely staggering. So obviously, perhaps I'll have to go now and do my own investigation, and in a future episode of It's All Duggan Games, figure out what is the exhaustive process for Atari to recall and re-release and all that stuff and rebrand back to Atari 46. So there you go, Wolfshanes. You've just disrupted the entire industry. You've got the chops. And folks, I think you've all got the chops. This has been a fun time. I love this little community we're building. I think we're all on the same page here. We're a little spicy. We're having a little fun, but getting information out there at the same time, talking about the retro gaming stuff. Thank you so much for engaging, the likes, the subs, and the comments. Keep them coming. I'm not done responding to them and reading them, and I think we're all entertaining each other. So as always, hope you had a good time, and we'll see you next time on It's All Dug in Games.